Good morning. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Let's take a few moments to explore the 5th chapter of the Tao Te Ching. The Tao does not take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. Remember, the Tao isn't a being, a god, or a group of gods. It's simply a system, a way of being. And as such, since it is not a sentient being, it cannot condemn us. It does not delineate between good and bad, wise or foolish, ugly or pretty. It's simply there for all who wish to make use of it. It is simply a system for accessing what some athletes call the flow state, with the idea of being able to habituate it, so that one spends the majority of one's life in that state of heightened intellectual and emotional and physical performance. Let's continue. The sage does not take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. So we shifted from the Tao to the sage. What's the difference? Glad you asked. A sage is any man or woman who has accessed the Tao to the point of mastery. How? How do we know when we have mastered the Tao? When we are able to access it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. When we have done that, when we have made centered spontaneity our default mechanism, when we have made vulnerable, yielding, non-conceptuality our primary stance, then we will be patient and compassionate toward all beings who pierce our sphere of awareness. Imagine for a moment you're at a playhouse, and upon the stage, in front of you is a stage. Behind the stage is a curtain. To the left is a curtain, and to the right is a curtain. An actor may enter from the left curtain, stand on the center stage, recite his soliloquy, and then leave through the right curtain. Likewise, phenomena and beings enter our sphere of awareness and leave our sphere of awareness. That does not mean they have ceased to exist. It simply means that in the moment, they have left a realm of perception. Whoever is in our realm of perception, that of our 5 senses, whoever we can see and hear and sometimes smell or feel, when we have habituated the system of the Tao, we are able to interact with peace, with compassion. Because that peace and that compassion is not, that patience and that compassion is not something they've earned. It's not something they deserve or don't deserve. It's simply our default mechanism. Let's continue. The Tao is like a bellows. So it is empty, yet infinitely capable. So I've seen a mini bellows, and some people use it at their fireplaces in the mountains. And it consists of 2 triangular planes held together with vinyl or leather, kept apart by spring metal. And the idea is when you open them up, the spring opens it up, The valves suck in air, and you push it together, the valves close, and the air shoots out and opening at the end. Most people have seen a bellows, either on television or in movies or in real life. The greatest volume of the bellows is empty space. The minority of the volume of the bellows is comprised of the wood, the leather, the nails, the valves, and the spout. So even though the majority of the bellows is empty space, it works quite well. The Tao is like that. It's a relatively simple thing, a system, if you will, yet when applied can be profoundly poignant. The more you use it, the more it produces. Yes, a bellows is not like a tube of toothpaste. A tube of toothpaste has a finite amount of toothpaste. And when the toothpaste is gone, the tube is worthless. However, since a bellows does not have a finite amount of air, every time you open the bellows, there's more air. Every time you squeeze it, it shoots that air out. Likewise, just as a bellows does not contain a finite amount of air or substance, like a toothpaste tube, likewise the Tao is not limited in the number of times it can help us. It can help us every time we apply it, and help us even more when we no longer have to try to apply it. We apply it automatically. That is the key to mastery. Let's continue. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. A very great danger in studying philosophy or meditation is using the majority of our energy to discuss it, rather than using the majority of our energy to apply it. I'm reminded of an aphorism, perhaps you've heard this paraphrased. It is a mistake to confuse the practice. Let's try that again. It is a mistake to confuse the discussion of meditation with the practice of meditation. The 5th chapter concludes with the admonition, hold on to the center. Any self-respecting scientist, especially if they come from the disciplines of biology, anthropology, archaeology, medicine, and the like, will agree that humans not only are mammals, but specifically are primates. And as primates, we are excellent at pulling. Now, most of us aren't very good at doing chin-ups or pull-ups. So if we're not great at pulling physically, then we are exceptional at pulling, grabbing, and clutching mentally and emotionally. It is folly to ask any primate, any human, no less any primate, to stop being prone to grasping. It's how we are hardwired. So if we must grasp, let us grasp onto centering. For the more we practice, not the scattered, rigid concentration of the yang path, but the yielding, gentle, acquiescent mindfulness of the yin path. The more we practice centering, the less scattered we shall be. Before you go, below the video is a button that reads, Show More. When you click that, you'll be exposed to links that can lead you to additional free resources that might serve you on your contemplative path. Until next, oopsie, there we go. Until next we speak, may you and yours be healthy and happy.